What's your experience being a black foreigner in the Philippines?
Honestly, let me just look at the camera and say, everyone, if you're black and you're watching this, unfortunately, it's a fortunate thing to be black.
Connection.
What's up, Savvy Expats? I hope you're all enjoying the podcast series that we have going on right now. Today, I have a special guest for y'all because he's a longtime supporter of the channel, also from the US, specifically Maryland. But before I disclose too much about his background, nice to see you, man.
Pleasure.
So, Mark.
Pleasure.
Mark.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, Mark. So, can you just give us a brief background on where you're from and your story?
Yeah, no problem. So thank you so much for having me, but as you guys heard, my name is Mark. Originally, I'm Kenyan, but I moved to the States. I live in Maryland and partially in Florida. So I say nowadays I claim Florida mostly. So Tampa, Florida, that's my home. And I'm here in Philippines, and I had the pleasure of meeting a very special guy. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and we met in Uptown Mall. So we're in BGC, of course. You all know I always love talking about BGC in the channel. But we met in Uptown Mall, and what struck me is like we were in the grocery store, and the first thing you told me is like the channel is one of the reasons you moved to BGC, which really struck, like it hit my heart because I'm like, dang, that means a lot. So you're living in BGC right now?
Yeah, so for right now, I'm staying in BGC. Okay. But as I told you, when I met you, I think finding your channel was like the best thing to happen because it made the choices to know where to go in Philippines be really easy, because you have nailed everything down that someone needs to know.
Right.
Someone, if you want Wi-Fi, you talk about that. If you want to move around, you talk about that. How the convenience it is to go from one place to another. I think your channel just was like the only thing I used to research my coming to Philippines journey.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Amazing. Yeah, we always talk about different places on the channel. We talk about BGC, we talk about Makati, but BGC is like the main place. So yeah, we met in the grocery store, just ran into you. It was such a pleasure. The vibes were there, and I knew I had to have you on the podcast before you. When are you leaving?
Unfortunately, my Philippine journey is coming to an end. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I mean, it's sad, but we had to have you on before you leave.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So going back to your story, you're from Kenya. When did you move to the US?
So I moved to the US about like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, so moved to the US. I've lived there. And then after 7 years staying in the cold, I've been now going to Florida for the past 3 years. And then I just decided, hey, I'm fortunate enough. I thank God for that. I can work from home, so why not move around and travel, So here I am, enjoying the Philippines, the warm weather. That's the most important thing, the warm weather.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so you said you can work from home. What do you do for work?
So I'm in the digital advertising space. That's what I do for a living,
Digital advertising?
Yes.
So you can travel around. You could be a digital nomad pretty much.
True.
So that's why you chose to go down to Florida?
True. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because when it gets cold up there, there's nothing happening. There's no life.
Tell me about
Unfortunately, there's no life. Everyone is just locked in because it's cold. The snow is there. So I just decided to move to Florida. Just to enjoy those times.
Yeah.
And then go back to see family during summer, spring, early fall.
Yeah.
And then now I was like, I had actually some people in the family saying, you're fortunate enough to work from home. Why don't you just go out there and explore the world, see how it is,
That's amazing.
And here I am, Yeah, came out to just see how Philippines is so far.
Right. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, because I'm originally from Chicago. Countless of us on the channel, we were from Midwest, colder states, and we get so sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
So it's good you made the move down to Florida and then came here to the Philippines.
That's true.
Tropical island.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about when you kind of left the US to travel around. What was your itinerary?
Okay. Yeah. That's funny you asked me because my friends, they all knew I was gone for 3 weeks. But now you see it's been three months. So that can tell you how much I've loved doing it, Yeah. Yeah, because at first we usually say anything you do in life, for the first time, it's more riskier. You know, you don't know what's going to happen.
For sure.
And then once you do it, you get your feet wet and you realize it's easy.
Yeah.
You just go for it. So as soon as I started traveling, I was like, oh, all I need is Wi-Fi. Yeah, the time difference is the only thing, but that one you can adjust. As long as I have good Wi-Fi, I have my laptop, I can work pretty much from anywhere. And yeah, now it's been 3 months, but it's coming to an end soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're living the dream. I could definitely say that for sure. The fact that you can work from anywhere, like everyone wants to be a digital nomad in today's age because you can make money online. You don't have to be trapped in a cubicle in an office to make money. So for you, I just want to quickly talk about, like, do you have any advice for someone that wants to retire, move to Southeast Asia, but make money online, a new stream of income? Because you did it. Can talk to the people about how we can do it too.
Okay, first thing I'll just say, get your feet wet. You know, I see the most common mistake people make is they just today wake up, they quit their job, and they say, hey, I'm gonna go and try this new thing. You know, they put all the investments. They haven't even tried to see how their ropes work, how to maneuver the challenges of that come with it. Because yes, as any other field, there are challenges that come with it. So I would say first, get your feet wet at least for 1 year. Just give yourself some time until you're comfortable enough to know, yes, I can move now to a foreign country and still work. As soon as you get that done, you're good to go. Because yeah, you'll be more familiar and more comfortable handling those things because you have experience on them.
Right, absolutely. So you told your friends you were gonna leave for a month.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
You began out in Southeast Asia, traveling around for 3 months, and you went to Malaysia, correct?
Yes.
You went to Malaysia, and then you came to the Philippines.
Yeah.
How long were you in Malaysia for?
Now, I was in Malaysia for 21 days.
21 days.
Yeah.
Which part?
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
And then came here to the Philippines. For how long?
Now, Philippines, I'm doing 28 days.
28 days. Yeah. All right, so interesting. A lot of people, a lot of expats that are looking to leave the West and go to Southeast Asia, it's typically a toss-up between either Bali, Thailand, but in the mix of that is Philippines or Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur to be specific. What are the differences between the two countries that you've observed?
Yeah, so I think each country has its own pros and cons, but I won't say they're cons, it just depends with how much you want to adjust to a new culture, because yeah, they say, when you go to Rome, you have to do what, yeah. So I would say in Malaysia, it's more of a conservative country. Yeah, and that's how it's mostly is.
Interesting.
I believe I was talking to the locals in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and I asked them, hey, like, just trying to buy alcohol. Why is alcohol so expensive in this country? And they tell me, hey, it's because the kings, they're trying to make us more of a Muslim state, so alcohol is more expensive, So it's more a very conservative type of country, especially compared to Philippines. Because I got to Philippines and it was night and day.
Yeah, really?
Makati, BGC, Publicion, I believe. That's night and day, Yeah, compared to Malaysia, if I can say that, in Southeast Asia. Yeah.
That's an interesting thought, and that it's really taking a different perspective of what most expats think of the Philippines. Because when we think about the Philippines, the reason they move here is because it's more conservative. Yeah. And a lot of expats, they leave the West because it's a little bit more, like, I guess, liberal, and that doesn't align with their values. So let's talk a little bit more about why you see the Philippines to be less conservative, I suppose, as portrayed online, because I'm sure it's a shock to you.
Yeah.
It's not as it's seen online.
So the funny thing is, even as you just said, we come to these places thinking it's conservative. That's what we have in our minds until we get here. That's what happened to me when I got here in our Philippines. I come to BGC, I didn't know this place is this progressive. You know, by that I mean by, you know, how they have accepted the LGBTQ into the community.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is new, you know, because
Yeah.
I thought maybe it's a very conservative country where if you put that out there in the public, maybe you're gonna be mocked, maybe you're gonna, you know, all the stigmatization that come with it. But here I was very surprised, you know. Yeah, it's very open. People are very accepting of who you are. Yeah, and that's one thing I really like about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. And something I noticed about like the Filipino people, they're accepting in general, very hospitable people. So no matter who you are, what race, where you come from, they'll accept you for it. And what is different about living in the Philippines and in the West is that people just mind their own business here.
That's true.
You notice like in the West, like you could be wearing a cross on your chest and people will give you a dirty look for it.
That's true.
Or you could be having a conversation about political beliefs and you're gonna get, you know, you're stepping on eggshells there.
Yeah.
But here in the Philippines, like, yeah, we don't talk about politics too much. Also because we're afraid about what can happen to us the next day. You don't know, you never know who you're talking about, who you're talking to. But for the most part, people just mind their own business.
Yeah.
And that's nice. Now, talking a little bit about the people here, what's your experience being a Black foreigner in the Philippines?
Honestly, let me just look at the camera and say, everyone, if you're Black and you're watching this, unfortunately, it's a fortunate thing to be Black. I will just say that. Come and experience it for yourself, but don't come all of you. Just, you know, because we'll take all the love, honestly. But honestly, I believe it's like a blessing in disguise. Honestly, I didn't know how much the Filipinos actually like, you know, Black people, you know. I've been stopped so many times, even in the malls, even on the road. You know, you're just walking and someone is like, hey, you know. The people are so friendly. I had the opportunity to go to Boracay, and then when we were in Boracay, we went to a province. I believe it's Malay. Malay, the province. So we're driving up. You know, we're sitting on these small buses. You know. And the locals, you know, they see a Black guy, they have to wave, they're smiling. It's like they have seen, you know, the best thing. I was like,
you're like a celebrity out here.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
You know, and it's very nice, you know. The ladies like it. You know, it's very nice. It comes with all the good pros that anyone would wish for.
So it seems like you get all the bells and whistles being Black in the Philippines, and it sounds like a great experience. You said the ladies like it. Have you experienced dating here? And like, you were here for a short period of time, but what was the experience like?
I have. You know, spoken to a few ladies out here. You know, because people are very welcoming, and you know, as soon as you talk to someone with a smile here, people are very friendly. I'll say, you know, talk to ladies out here, you know, they tell you how it is out here, you know. They're the locals, you know, so they tell you what's happening, you know. And I'll say everything has been positive for me.
Positive experience.
I can't say anything's negative so far with like the dating out here or anything. To me, so far, it has been good.
Amazing. So what culture shocks did you experience coming here to the Philippines?
Okay, to me, to someone else, it might be okay. But to me, I feel like people out here are very respectful. You know, sometimes coming from Florida, you know, people are aggressive, and then you come to the Philippines, even someone just opening a door for you is like, yes sir, you're like, it's okay, it's just a small thing, you know. You know, so it's just those things, you know, that I was like, wow, people out here are very appreciative of the small things, you know, the things that we take for granted. People here see it as a very big thing, you know. You give someone a tip and you have made them their day, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just those small things, you know, that I was like,
fantastic.
It's beautiful.
So your culture shocks are very positive, like people opening the door for you, people being appreciative of tips, saying a simple hi. That's amazing, because that's something like in the West where I get a lot of complaints from expats who talk about like the tipping culture in the West versus the Philippines. And here, even if you give something as small as $2, 100 pesos, they're very appreciative of that.
Very appreciative, yeah.
But in the West, like, if you don't give a certain amount, tables are flipped.
You know,
People are get angry.
That's very true. You know. Yeah.
And so, other than those culture shocks, did you encounter any issues with like staying here visa-free, immigration, or was it smooth?
It was very smooth, you know. As soon as you come to the airport, everything was smooth, you know. Yeah, they just ask you where you'll be staying, and that's it. They just give you your visa, you're here, you know, and you just move on with life, you know.
Awesome.
You go and enjoy it, yeah.
Awesome. So it's simple, fast.
Very fast, yeah, and very simple.
And then in terms of living in BGC, how has it been these past couple weeks?
It's been good. So before I came to BGC, just as a video, you know, you talk about Makati and BGC all the time. So I was like, let me start with Makati and then go to BGC.
Okay.
So as soon as I got here for the first 14 days, I was staying in Makati. So I was there. It was, I think, a very good experience because you get to interact with the locals, you know, and especially at that time because I was just very new here. Interacting with the locals, you know, you just walk by some people at a car wash, you know, they're they already want to know your story, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, the locals, you know, they tell you, hey, maybe instead of going to buy that food, I can take you to my local place, you know.
Wow.
I met some very good people at the gym, you know, back there in Makati, you know. They're telling me, no, don't go to that. That's a, you know, more of a westernized restaurant. I'll take you to my local spot. My local spot.
Yeah.
So you go to a local spot where you eat food for, I think it was like 60 pesos. Yeah.
Wow. Barely even like so a little over $1.
Yeah. So that's less than $1, you know. And they tell you, this is how us the locals we live, you know, and it's beautiful, you know. And then now, after that, I went to Boracay for a few days, and then now the last 10 days, I've been staying here in BGC, which I would say exceeded my expectations in every aspect of it, because BGC is very modern. Actually, it's very, very modern in terms of infrastructure, how things are, you know. It's super clean, you know. I would compare it with the top of the top states in the US, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's just something else. Yes, I feel like as soon as you come to BGC, you will be like, wow.
Absolutely.
This is not what I was expecting in Southeast Asia. Yeah,
for sure. And we always see that whenever a foreigner comes to like BGC, they don't even expect it at all. Like they're walking the streets here. I tell you, there's one time. So before, when I was leaving the US, we got a lot of criticism from my family. They're like, why are you going to the Philippines? It's a third world country. And mind you, they're Filipino as well, but like born and raised in the States. So they don't know how far the Philippines has progressed to this day. And so I was video calling one of my cousins, and they're like, how are you liking the Philippines? I'm like, it's good. I was in the province, like, okay, yeah, it looks a little bit run down, but enjoy your time. So then I come to BGC a little bit later, and I'm walking around BGC, and I video call them again, and they're like, oh, you're back in the US? I'm like, nah, this is the Philippines.
That's true.
And they get shocked. They're surprised by what they see here. You said that you can compare BGC to like the major cities of the US. Which like major city have you experienced, have you been around in the US that you can compare it to?
I will say the closest thing that comes to this will be the DMV side. That's the metropolitan, the DMV side, DC, Maryland, Maryland and Virginia. Or maybe Nova, that's Northern Virginia area. That's what I would compare to BGC. Honestly,
I'm pretty bold about like my claims about how much I like BGC. As far as I go is saying like, and I a lot of people get their toes stepped on when I say it, but I'm like, it's better than San Francisco.
That's true.
It's better than Chicago, because I've been to both places. And when you see like you're paying what, 2,500 up to 5,000 for, you know, rent, cost of living in like San Francisco just to live in not the best conditions anymore, not the safest, a little bit dangerous. But then you come to the BGC and it's like, it's safe here. You don't have to worry about walking out in the middle of the night.
That's right.
You've experienced the nightlife for yourself, even in Makati, right?
Yeah.
It feels pretty safe.
Yeah.
So other than that, living in BGC, are you staying in an Airbnb, a hotel? What are you using?
Yeah, because for this time period, it was just a short-term period. I was here like only 28 days. It didn't make sense for me to do like a monthly stay, you know, and I wanted to move around. So what I did, I'm just doing Airbnbs so far. I tried, what I was doing is 1 week I would stay in a specific place, let's say in Makati, a specific area, and then the next one I'd move to another place. So that's what I was doing.
So you're saying in Airbnb, how much does your Airbnb cost living in Uptown? In the Uptown area?
Yeah, so I'll say in BGC it's much higher than compared to Makati, if I'll say for a nightly stay, because in Airbnb, if you're looking for something, because I'm very specific on what I look for. Yeah, when I go to Airbnb, I'm those people who has to filter, you know, and when I filter the units or maybe the homes, my criteria is very strict. You know, I need like good Wi-Fi.
Of course.
So I need a washer, a washer and dryer. That's how much spoiled, you know, I am. So I need a good Wi-Fi, washer and dryer. I need gym, and I need a pool. So that's what I usually try and filter for. So when you look at those units, those are usually actually on the higher end of it. So in a BGC, you're looking at around maybe average of like $45 a night.
$45 a night?
Yeah, $45 a night.
That's not bad, yeah.
And then in Makati, you're looking maybe at 35.
Okay.
35, yeah.
Wow, actually, that's a little bit lower than I expected. Because it is on the higher end, like relative to like the Philippines.
Yes.
But when I think about it, like BGC is the highest end city you could probably live in within the country. 45 a night is not that bad. How about like your groceries? What are those costs like? Do you track it?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do track it. I'll say groceries anywhere from like $15 a week for my groceries.
No way.
Yeah, and as you can see, I eat a lot of food compared to someone else, you know. So I'll say maybe 15 bucks. $
15 a week. Where do you shop?
I do at you call it this one I saw called Save and More. And then there's just one in Uptown. I don't know the name. I think it's Marketplace or something.
Yeah, where we met.
Yeah, where we
Marketplace.
met. Yeah, so I shop there. I've been to those two places. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. So those are your main expenses: your rent, or excuse me, your nightly stay at Airbnb,
and the
your
groceries.
How about like entertainment? Because you've experienced that here.
Yeah. So entertainment, I believe you can find whatever you're looking for, you know. You can go for the upscale, you can just go for the mid-tier, you can go just for the, you know, for the local tier, you know, just go grab some beers, you know. Yeah, so I've experienced both of them. I would say depending on how much you want to go out, if you're looking for a good night out, maybe somewhere in BGC, which is more upscale, that's what they say. And it is actually upscale, let me just say that.
More than Makati?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So over here, you're looking to spend more. Let's say I will give people for a double shot of like, let's say, Maker's Mark, that's like a good whiskey. It was like 400 pesos. So you're looking at maybe like $7.
Yeah, $7, $8.
Yeah, $7 to $8 for a double shot of, and it was, I think, even a triple shot that they pour, you know.
Nice.
If I compare that to the US and how much I would get for a Maker's Mark double shot, it would be, you know, much more. And then if you want to buy bottles, I think they're all relatively very cheap here.
Okay, nice. How does the nightlife in Makati compared to BGC?
I would say in a BGC, it's ratchet but classy.
Ratchet but classy. What a way to describe it. Interesting.
Ratchet but classy, you know. And then in Makati, everything goes. Everything.
Just straight ratchet.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. In Makati, you can just lose yourself because it's too much fun. You know. But here, I feel like here you can even let go, have fun. Nice. But at the end of the day, it's very classy. Like you will feel safe. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to a club here in BGC. and I would see people just leave their phones on the table,
Yeah.
and dance. And then I asked my friends in Publicion, in a club there. They say no, don't try to do that. You have to be, even if you're drinking and having fun, you have to be more aware.
For sure.
But here in BGC, you can see people, they leave their
Which
phones.
club did you go to here?
I went to Revel at the Palace.
Revel. Yeah, is that Xylo? That's different than Xylo.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, different.
Yeah. Have you been to Xylo yet?
No, I haven't been.
I think Xylo is like for the younger crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you say, like I think there's different strokes for different folks. Like Makati is more for like if you really want to get out there and be wild and you have a really great time.
Yeah.
BGC is I'd say it's a little bit better for, I wouldn't say an older crowd because there's still a lot of young people that party here in BGC, but there's more bars here that's a little bit more like social drinking.
Yeah.
You know, a glass of wine, something like that. So yeah, different strokes for different folks. Which one do you personally enjoy more?
No, I'll say I prefer the BGC.
BGC.
Scene. Yeah, it's very nice. It's a scene where you see people actually dress up.
Oh really?
People dress up and go out, because they dress to impress. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's classy but ratchet.
Yeah.
which is a very good mix,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great place to also meet people too. Like if you're wanting to network, a lot of people come to BGC that, like you said, they dress up, they have connections and whatnot. So in Poblacion, how would you describe the nightlife there? Because that's like the nightlife capital of the Philippines.
Yeah. I would say it's a red light district.
Red light district.
Yeah, like that. That type of scene. That's what you can find there. Yeah, just a street of bars, after bars. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there, or it will find you. So you have to be, so
it'll find you. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially when you're black. Everything will find you. Yeah. And but they're all good. At the end of the day, they're all good. It just depends with what you're looking for, and what vibe you feel mostly. You like. Yeah, I've heard of Xylo, the club that you said. It's very popular here, but for me, it's not my vibe because maybe the type of music they play, it doesn't suit what I like. Yeah, so. When I go to someone like Revel, the Palace, it's a different vibe. They have a mixture of music, something I can jump to, I can dance to, with friends. Yeah, so that's much better.
I see. Yeah. If you were to give a rough estimation of like how much you spend per week while you're here in the Philippines, can you like give us a rundown on that?
So that including the accommodation, the groceries,
like everything, entertainment. Yeah.
Okay, in a week. So I would say. Because so when I'm just living life, like the first weeks, when I was just living life, I would say maybe something like including accommodation, maybe probably like let's say $400.
That's good. Yeah, $400. So if you were, if you were living here for,
and that's $400. That includes the the nightly stay, which is like $35 to $40.
Yeah.
So that's like 200 already gone, and then after 200, now the groceries I'm looking at maybe around, let's say, on the higher end, maybe $40. So that's $250, and then maybe $150 just to go out, buy drinks. But that's on the high end. But on the low end, I would say even just around maybe less than 300 will.
No, yeah. I mean, if you're living here for $400 a week, that's about $1,600 a month. If you're keeping up with the same, living expenses. And when I think about it, like this is your first month in the Philippines ever, so of course you're going out, you're experiencing the entertainment, you're meeting people, you're spending outside, eating out, drinking out. So it's gonna obviously be a lot more than like the average person, but still, $1,600 a month as a single, that's like way more affordable than in the US.
Yeah, and that $1,600, which I'm talking about, is you're living life. I'm saying you're living life.
Life.
You're going to the club, you're buying. You got bottle. I won't say too much, but just know you're living life with that $1,600
you're
a month.
enjoying life,
you're enjoying life.
And so like the average expat or retiree coming here, let's say they're not, going out to the club as much, and they've fully settled down in the Philippines where it's like their normal life here, they can even spend less than that. That's great.
Definitely. I see, if you just want to live a normal, quiet life, even outside, just even in Makati, I believe something like $1,000, yeah, can do you good, because when I was there looking at the houses for like rent and everything, when I convert that, you see a house, 24,000 pesos.
Yeah.
So that means that's like a $500 for already now your house,
Yeah.
and the houses here come fully furnished. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. So it's just already it's a ready to move in house. So you just come with the clothes and everything is
Right.
there. So and then you get that, and then I think internet. Someone told me was like, I don't know, 600 pesos for a year or something.
Maybe a month. I think.
Yeah, a month, right? Yeah. So you see, when you account for all that, $1,000 will.
Yeah, absolutely. And even with you living here, like you're staying at Airbnb, which is of course more expensive if you were just to rent, like say like 6 months lease. So you can even cut down your living expenses hypothetically. You're coming back in the Philippines January, correct?
Yeah.
If you come back here by then, like, and you stay a longer term, you can cut your expenses down by even more. So yeah, I mean, are you staying in a studio or a one bedroom?
So it's a one bedroom.
bedroom.
Yeah, that's what they call it, a one bedroom. Yeah.
In Uptown.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing with everyone, I think, when you ask me about the culture shock, one thing I feel like most people will have is when you come here and see the size of the one bedroom or the studio, they call it, you'll be like, wow. Yeah, it's not as big as the way everything in America is big, so but you have everything that you need there. So with this one, it's a one bedroom, but
yeah, I mean, especially in the US, we're so used to big spaces.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming like there in Uptown, it's what, 40 to 50 square meter?
Yeah.
For one bedroom?
Accurate. Yep.
Yeah. And so that's what I always talk about in the channel is like, be prepared, especially if you're coming to BGC, to, I guess, spend a little bit more for square footage. Because it's relative. It's like living in New York, there's limited space. It's a very high-end financial district. So to come here, you're not gonna get like the same amount of square footage as you would get in like the middle of Virginia. Here in the Philippines, it's gonna cost a lot more to get a spacious area. But how is it like going with Airbnb? What was your experience like? Using Airbnb here in the Philippines.
Yeah, I'll say it's been smooth. I say fortunately, I thank God, because all the hosts I've had, they're very good. Actually, they go out of their way. They tell you these are the good places to go. This is what, if you want to go to eat, this is where you can go. If you want to move around, make sure you have Grab. So I feel like I had a very good experience with the Airbnb and the hosts I've had so far, and everything was actually just like the pictures, because I've heard of stories where someone might think, this is what I'm getting, and as soon as you go there,
for sure.
It's something different. But I think I thank God I'm very fortunate. I was able to
Awesome.
I don't have any bad experiences.
I think like here in Manila, you don't have to really worry about that. In terms of getting what you see on the pictures with Airbnb. But in the province, you may be a little bit more concerned, because I could say I've had a bad experience where we were looking for a place in Subic, which is like pretty much an Americanized, like military base area of the province. And we saw like a beautiful Airbnb. It said it's a resort and everything like that, high end, looked great. We came to the place, it was like in the middle of like, it was a bad area. It was a terrible area. And that's where I talk about on the channel, we've got robbed in that night we were staying there. So all of our Apple devices gone. So like one thing, guys, be very careful when it comes to looking at Airbnbs in the province, because it's not always what it seems. But when it comes to like Manila, like Mark said, you wouldn't have a bad experience like that. Last question, Mark. What's your plans here now? Do you plan on coming back to visit, or are you gonna travel around more?
Now, hopefully, I think I need to come back to Philippines just to experience it one more time and for a longer period, because I feel like there's so much you can do here that even a month or two is not enough for you to do everything. Because like just going to the provinces or maybe the places where people want to visit, you need a week, maybe 5 days, 4 days, there's so much to do, and the food is great. People are great. You know, you feel like it's a nice place to be. You know, and I always say, when you go to a place where you feel you're wanted, it eases your mind. You know, you're relaxed. You can work better. You know, and do everything much better. Yeah. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to coming back here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, it was a pleasure having you on, and thank you for telling us a little bit about your life here in the Philippines. And we hope you have a safe trip tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.